Alrighty. And away we go.
Hey, so hello everyone. Welcome to the Circonflexe Mentorship Program orientation session for mentees. Woo! So thanks for taking time out of your evening to join us. If you're having to eat dinner right now, all good. And we're gonna talk about what to expect from the program. So I will start off by introducing myself. So I'm Michelle Zwiek. I'm the programs coordinator at the Provincial Employment Roundtable. The acronym is PERT. I've been working in this role for a little over a year. And the main program that I run is the Circumflex Mentorship Program. So I will be your main point of contact. We do have other members of the team who you might hear from via email as well. And we're joined also by Morgan, my colleague. Morgan, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello everybody. I am Morgan. I am PERT's Director of Organizational Development. I'm pretty new to this role. Prior to that, I was on our research team doing a lot of the research and reports into, among other things, the practice of French language learning, best practices in adult French language learning, how to support people trying to learn French in Quebec who might also be working or studying or job seeking, all those good things. Uh, which is the kind of need and growth that Circonflexe came out of. But I'll let Michelle maybe talk a little bit more about that. Pleased to have you all here.
So, yeah, for today, we're going to go over what mentoring is and what it is not. Many of you may have already had a mentor at one point. For some of you, this may be your first time having a mentor. So, we're going to get clear on what that looks like, particularly within the Circumflex Mentorship Program. We'll talk about the benefits, more specifically, your role and responsibilities, how to structure, conduct, and maintain your relationship with your mentor. Also, we'll talk about how to set goals and what to expect from your mentor, and then some other logistical stuff as well. So, this meeting is being recorded. It will only be shared with other mentees internal to the program. If you have any questions that come up along the way, feel free to raise your hand, your digital Zoom hand, or write in the chat. We have Morgan monitoring hands and questions in the chat. I unfortunately can't see all of your beautiful faces, but maybe you can see mine. So, yeah, we're going to start by talking about what mentoring is. This is the more theoretical part of the orientation. So it's important to understand why you're here. So mentoring is an open, supportive relationship based on trust and mutual respect. Through this special relationship, a person with a wealth of experience, in other words, the mentor, wishes to make their experience and knowledge available to another person, the mentee, to guide them in their personal and professional development. Focused on expertise, it provides professional and individual guidance as well as support. So, in our own words, mentoring is a learning relationship. You as a mentee, the idea is you come in with intention and a growth mindset, so to speak. In Circonflex, the learning's all about language, professional integration. Mentors, they what they bring is wisdom, a wealth of experience, knowledge. They're not here to give you a job or provide consulting services, but they act as a guide. And we'll go into more detail about what that might look like. So when to get a mentor. So you're all likely here because you're at a pivotal point in your life or career. You're seeking guidance to navigate what comes next. So mentorship is a powerful tool to help you move forward towards the next step. It's common to envision our journeys being really simple, linear, and predictable. That's what our plan is, but I think we all know by now nothing goes according to plan. Um, it's full of twists, turns, and unexpected detours. So a good time to get a mentor is maybe when you are entering the job market. Maybe you've just graduated from school. Maybe you're still in school. Maybe you are wanting to take on new responsibilities in your current work, new projects. Maybe you're wanting to transition into a new career, or plan an evolution within your organization. Maybe you just want to develop new expertise or skills, and in the context of the Circonflex program, that the focus is on language skills. Um, Maybe you want to increase your creativity. It's possible that you're a newcomer to Quebec or even Canada. Um, you might also seek mentorship to discuss more social, professional challenges like work-family balance. So, just want to talk about what mentoring is not, just to get clear on that. So, when you're matched in a formal program like the Circumflex mentorship program, it's important to keep your mentee posture. So, it's important to understand mentoring is not a friendship. Of course, it can turn into a friendship, but while you are in the Circumflex mentorship program, it's best to keep that distinction. You won't necessarily learn to the same extent or the same way if you approach the partnership with your mentor as a friendship. Another thing to keep in mind is mentoring is not tutoring. I think this is especially important to keep in mind for this program because the focus is on language improvement. Your mentor is not a language teacher or tutor. They're more of a guide. And again, we're going to talk more about what that looks like. Another thing to keep in mind is your mentor is not your manager. So they they're not going to evaluate your work necessarily. Same way that they're not a consultant. Of course, they will provide you guidance and advice, but they're not responsible for the results. So, as a little review, the Circumflex Mentorship Program purpose is to increase links and language exchanges between English-speaking Quebecers and Francophones in the job market. So the focus is on improving English-speaking participants' confidence and language skills when communicating in French-speaking workplaces and professional contexts. So some examples for what you can do, how you can use your mentoring sessions. So you can use them to practice language. You can simulate different scenarios. So you can go to a networking event with your mentor, um, and you can go for a walk. You can go see a movie. There's a lot of different ways to go about practicing the French language and developing yourself professionally. The our plan is to match mentees with a mentor who is in the same region and ideally in the same industry as well. That way you can form a contact with someone who can provide guidance on your specific industry, and also maybe vocabulary that's specific to your industry. Um, yeah, and a mentor can also talk about cultural differences between English and French, and specifically maybe Quebecois work environments. So we encourage you to think about different ways to learn from your mentor. Okay, so some benefits, um, many benefits. You get personalized support from your mentor. You can build your confidence, grow your skills, expand your network. Mentoring is a learning relationship. Um, so uh, stay open. Um, we'll talk about how to ask for feedback, how to receive feedback as well. Um, Something else that I want to emphasize in particular is the confidential nature of what you share with your mentor and what your mentor shares with you. So, you know the saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So, environment between you and your mentor, it should be a safe safe environment where you can be maybe vulnerable. So we just so you know, also we do a training like this with mentors as well. The expectations are made clear for them as well. If this is a particularly important thing for you, confidentiality, we recommend that you talk about it in your first meeting with your mentor, just to set expectations and boundaries. So some ideas for what to expect in terms of a climate for your mentoring relationship. Trust, listening, sharing, rewarding. Um, I don't think the word is here, but reciprocity is also a big one. A lot of mentors, they want to learn from you as well. And there's lots to learn from the mentee as well. Of course, they want to help you, but they also a lot of them say that they're motivated to learn, develop their skills as a leader, as a guide. Um, Okay, so I want to pose a question to the group. So feel free to raise your hand or write in the chat. What do you think it takes to be a successful mentee? What is your role in the relationship as a mentee? Okay, I'm just reading the chat. Um, oh, and to answer your question, will this document be shared after this meeting? Yes, we'll be sharing this presentation. So to be a successful mentee, um, it requires commitment. That's a big one. It, it is a professional relationship. So we do recommend respecting the mentor's time. They are also a volunteer. So commitment's a big one. Adaptability and open-mindedness, definitely. That's important for when you're learning and improving. Open communication and trust, yes, for sure. And it will, of course, take some time to build trust. Um, but ideally, that's what you can build with your mentor. Be open and positive. Punctual is a big one. Respectful, supporting and learning. Be an active listener and humble about feedback and reflections given by the mentor. Yes, definitely. Um, Share ideas on how to connect. Um, Engage in conversations about meaningful things to my industry. Yeah, for sure. Um, Growth mindset. Oh, wow, there's a lot. You're great. To be curious and come prepared with some things to work on. Yeah, definitely. It's good to prepare for each session. Um, we're all really busy people, so sometimes it's hard to, you might be hopping from one meeting to the next, but if you can take like 5 or 10 minutes before an upcoming session to talk about what you want to think about what you want to work on, that'll be really helpful. Active listening and curiosity, open to feedback, eager to learn and practice. Yeah, lots of good ones. Versatility. Yeah, these are great. Thank you. So I think we already heard some of these. A big one is taking the initiative of your mentoring, making the first steps, communicating your mentoring needs and your goals to your mentor so that they can help figure out how to approach those goals. Be an engaged, active, and prepared learner. Be honest and authentic. Receive feedback with openness. Some of you already shared that in the chat. Respect the mentor's time and expertise. Share your progress and the help you receive from your mentor. So here are some mantras or sayings to help you get like in a mentee mindset. Um, so I'll leave these here for you if you want to go back, because it can be a vulnerable position to be a mentee, to be receiving feedback and advice. So I'll leave these for you. Your mentor's role. So. Yeah, we'll talk about what is expected of a good mentor. So, positive attitude at all times demonstrates active listening and empathy, genuine curiosity about you as their mentee. They guide you to solutions. Importantly, they guide you to solutions, but they don't do things for you. They don't fix things for you. A good mentor is patient regarding your progress. They're honest and unbiased. They motivate you. They're humble and genuine. Here's some more examples of what to expect of the mentor. Okay, let's talk about the stages of a mentoring relationship. So, there's different stages. Of course, it starts with the initiation. This is where you take time to initiate the relationship and build mutual trust. The next stage is the development and maintenance of the relationship. This is where your mentor will provide guidance, and you, as the mentee, you commit to achieving your goals. And stage three, this is where you end the relationship or you redefine and you discuss whether or not you want to continue connecting and maybe turn it into a friendship. So, for the first stage, it's really important that you take time to get to know each other. So, we will ask you to, when you're matched to a mentor, we will ask you to have an initial meeting where you specifically take the time to get to know each other. You can share things about your personal self, your professional self. And this is also where you are going to want to share what your needs are and your goals. It's important to take the time to do this. This is what helps build trust. You're also going to want to take the time to talk about more logistical things, when you're going to meet, how you're going to meet, how often, how you're going to communicate in between meetings, and maybe come up with like a mutual agreement. Um, and yeah, tell your mentor what you are expecting from them. Um, oh, another thing about the initiation stage, and especially the first meeting, don't expect to necessarily get like useful takeaways right away from the first meeting. It's really about just getting to know each other. So, stage two, this is where you develop and maintain the relationship. So, the mentor would be sharing their experience in similar situations to stimulate reflection. The mentor will be asking you questions to go deeper. They'll help you identify best actions and strategies. Also, they might be able to introduce you to other folks in their network, and they'll propose challenges as well. Stage three, here at the end of the relationship, there will be an opportunity for you to discuss how you wish to move forward if you want to stay connected in a less formal way. Okay. So, to be effective in your role as a mentee, a really important thing to do is reflect on your goals. So, the reason for this is this provides the foundation for your partnership with your mentor, and it also gives your mentor an understanding of your expectations. Something to keep in mind also is a mentoring topic isn't necessarily a problem. Sometimes we think, oh, I have obstacles with that, so my goal will have to do with that. But you can also see goals the other way. So it can be an aspiration of some sort, something you want to become, like a professional that speaks French at work, or something you want to do to be more comfortable with. So we're going to talk about different methodologies of goal setting as well that you can apply. Um, but yeah, goals should start with your needs. Goals can change along the way. You may have to revise them as time goes on. Yeah, keep the communication open about what your needs and goals are with your mentor. So one methodology to setting goals is the SMART goal method. This isn't going to work for everyone or for every goal, but this is available to you. Some of you may be familiar with it. SMART, it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Um, so I think there's an example on the next slide. So yeah, for example, if you want to set a SMART goal for yourself, to be specific, you want to improve confidence in speaking French in business meetings. Measurable, contribute at least 2 times per meeting with relevant ideas or questions. To make it achievable, you will attend preparation sessions with your mentor before each meeting to anticipate topics to be addressed and practice key phrases. You want it to be realistic, and in order to achieve that, you acknowledge that you have the time and resources to work on this objective. You can devote around 1 hour a week to preparing for meetings. You're also going to want to make it time bound, so you achieve this objective within 30 months of starting the mentoring program. If we don't have a SMART goal, another methodology we can follow, it's the gap analysis methodology. So it's 3 simple questions. You start by taking a picture of your current situation. Where are you right now? Two, you ask yourself, what is your desired situation? Where do you want to be and in how long? Uh, Three is identify ways to move from your current state to the desired state. Answer, how do you get there? What is already in your baggage and what do you need to add or develop? So, an example of the application of the gap analysis. So, current situation, a mentee can handle basic day-to-day interactions in French, but lacks the confidence and fluidity required for professional meetings. They often hesitate to speak up for fear of making mistakes, struggle to find the right technical vocabulary, and find it difficult to follow fast-paced discussions, especially when industry-specific jargon is used. So their desired situation is to participate actively and naturally in professional discussions and meetings in French. They want to express complex ideas clearly and use the appropriate technological terminology. So examples of expected levers and mentor contributions. So the mentor can help by selecting content in French that's related to the mentee's sector of activity. So this might be articles to read, this might be videos. The mentor can help practice public speaking in French with feedback on body language, clarity of expression. You can simulate informal situations, and the mentor can also analyze any mistakes that keep occurring. Okay, so beyond your mentoring goals, in order to prepare for your mentoring journey, you might want to consider what your aspirations and interests are. You want to consider what your life story is, maybe practice presenting your CV in 3 minutes. Think about your strengths, think about what challenges you're currently encountering, and think about your preferred learning style. And you can share all of this with your mentor as well. I'm wondering, does anyone have a goal in mind already that they want to work on with their mentor? You're welcome to put up your hand or share it in the chat. We see Boo has,
Okay,
yeah?
okay,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, awesome.
So your previous slide basically described my goals almost 100%.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the purpose of this program, I'm sure you're all here to improve your French, and to become more confident in professional situations.
But if I can perhaps add a couple of points,
Absolutely.
I think going beyond the language is one is obviously understanding the grammatical part of it, but also I think the other thing that's equally as important, in fact, is probably more important, is understanding what the person is trying to say through the language that they use, through the structure of the sentences that they use, because being an English speaking person, the structure of the French language is very different. So trying to understand the subtle messages behind the languages, especially in today's environment where I work a lot online.
Hmm.
So not being able to read the body language, but just purely through facial expression and the language alone, you have to pick up a lot more. And that's the thing that I hope to get out of this
Right.
program.
Yes, totally. Yeah, and when you're interacting in a language that you're still learning, I personally find like processing things, it takes a lot more work. It's a bit slower. So yeah, it's true. Understanding the nuance behind what someone is actually saying, what they mean, is very important. Thank you.
I see as well a lot of industry specific or job specific, or just in general, really specific goals listed in the chat, which are amazing. So, industry specific jargon. I see performing a script or a text in French. That's really cool. Visiting clients in French, publishing articles in French, user research interviews in French. These are amazing. I see Genevieve, you have your hand up, or Genevieve.
Yeah, it's also will be really nice to have someone stop and answer questions about understanding where grammatical errors happen because I had a so I was raised French. I went to French school till grade 9, and then I'm a perfect example of why there are French language laws. Like Geneviève Cloutier can't really speak French anymore. Like my dad, Marcel Cloutier, doesn't speak French at all. But I had an AI bot that I was practicing with, like speaking about research, and it was good because you could actually stop and say, "Oh, did I conjugate that right?" And they would correct you and be really kind about it. But in the end, it would be nice to do that with a human. Yeah. So I'm grateful for this program. Thank you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that's a really interesting like pedagogical goal as well to like find those moments in your mentorship duo where those interjections, like what type and where those can happen. Liz, I see you have your hand up.
Okay, hi.
Hello.
I guess for me, I want to get the jargon of my industry down. So I'm a highly skilled individual that's found myself setting up my business here. And it's so frustrating to be in meetings and everybody's talking at a million miles an hour. And I kind of know what they're saying, but then I get lost in all the little pieces. So
Yeah.
Genevieve, I'm really interested in that AI bot. If you can share that in the chat, that would be great. But it's one of those things. So just in this program seems perfect for me because it's sort of the best of combining um, the jargon in my industry so that then I can propagate that information through my business and allow the natural culture of the workplace here to assert itself in French. It's frustrating that I'm constantly in English and bad French, like grade 3 level French. So I'm
Absolutely.
hoping to up my game. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I see one more hand, maybe Jane, and then we'll hop back into the presentation. Please.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you so much for organizing this program. First of all, I was really hoping I would get in, and here we are. So, I work a lot with clients in my day job and also in my extracurricular activities, artistic practice. Like I teach people sewing lessons, and I would just love to be able to serve people in less franglais and more French. I have one client that I'm speaking with in French right now, and I would just love to be able to have more tools to be able to communicate more succinctly, both in the workplace and in my side projects as well.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Jane.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, some other tips for moving beyond your mentoring goals. Take some time to think about the role of your mentor. Um, think about potential obstacles and think about also what you will bring to your mentor. I mentioned earlier that a mentoring relationship is a reciprocal relationship. The mentor also has things to learn from you. So think about what you can share. So feedback is a big part of mentoring. Your mentor will provide you with feedback and advice, and this is what helps you grow. So it's important because feedback can help us recognize the impact of our actions, whether positive or negative. It can reinforce behaviors, can foster motivation, and it can also increase our professional growth. Um, so again, receiving feedback can be a little vulnerable. So here's some mantras for yourself to remind yourself before receiving feedback. The main thing is that no one is perfect, and this is a learning opportunity. And your mentor has good intentions. And you have leeway and options with the feedback that you receive. You know, you can choose whether or not it resonates with you, if it applies to your situation. You're also welcome to ask for clarification to make sure that you fully understand. Um, and lastly, the relationship with your mentor, it can allow for confidence to build from this feedback. Okay, so to go into a bit more logistical things. So, as a part of the Circonflexe mentorship program, we ask that you meet with your mentor a minimum of 9 times. So the current cohort runs until the end of December 2026. So in order to make a minimum of 9 meetings, I think that'll be about 1 meeting a month. You might have to do a couple months where you do 2 meetings, especially if you or your mentor need to take a break in the summer. If you or your mentor want to meet more frequently and you both agree to, you are more than welcome to. We just ask for a minimum of 9. Understanding that this is a volunteer commitment on the part of the mentors, and also understanding that we're all very busy people. Yeah, so we'd say if you're meeting 9 or 10 times over the course of the cohort, keep your meetings to 60 minutes. Keep in mind the time and place of your meetings. So, I said earlier, we're going to do our best to match you to a mentor in your region. That's to allow you to meet in person if that's something you want to do and you and your mentor both have capacity for that. Meeting online is totally okay. It's an option, and I'll be talking about the platform we use, and it has a built-in video conferencing tool. But you can also use Zoom, you can use Teams. Regardless, whether you meet in person or virtually, try and find a comfortable and quiet environment, especially because you are going to be communicating in your second or third language. It's really important to have a quiet environment where you can focus and hear the other person. And if you need to play around with different times of the day or different locations, feel free to do so. Yeah. Okay, so suggested structure for a mentoring meeting. So you're going to want to spend the first 5-10 minutes catching up personally and professionally. You can share what's going on. You can follow up about the last meeting. You can express your goals for the current meeting. The next 15 to 20 minutes, you might want to take some time to focus on hot topics. So this is maybe something that's come up in your work life or your language learning journey. Maybe it's a difficult relationship you want to talk through and get advice from your mentor on. But this hot topic might not necessarily be the thing you want to focus your entire session on. So the third part of your mentoring session, you might want to dedicate to your medium and longer term goals and priorities. And in the last 5 or 6 minutes of your meeting, we recommend you do a little recap. You discuss with your mentor if your goals for the session were achieved. Are both you and the mentor satisfied? And then also discuss any follow-ups that each of you need to work on. So in between meetings, you're welcome to communicate with your mentor about your progress towards your goals. If any difficulties arise and you need like a last minute meeting, you can ask your mentor, see if they're available and have capacity for that. Yeah, big thing is communicate your appreciation to your mentor. Yeah. Also, you can connect with your mentor on LinkedIn. And I was saying this earlier, take some time to prepare for your meetings and try, if you can, to organize your schedule in such a way that you're not going from one meeting to the next. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some more logistical things and what to expect in the next few weeks. So in the next week or two, we will be inviting you to create an account on the mentorship platform we use. It's called Mentorly. So this is essential because this is how we're going to determine who your mentor matches. So make sure that you answer all the questions. This will also ensure a more accurate compatibility rating. The next step will be to set your mentoring goals. So we'll be sending out a resource that you can make use of. You don't need to submit these goals to the Circonflexe team, but it's good to have these to share with your mentor. And yeah, we'll notify you once we have found a match for you. We are really hoping to have found a match for everyone by the end of March. So yeah, just to keep that timeline in mind. First thing to do is reach out to your mentor. Once you receive their contact information, you can reach out to them on the Mentorly platform and schedule an initial meeting. This is just to get to know each other, assess out the vibes. You can keep this first meeting brief. And if you have any concerns, don't hesitate to contact us. But this match that we provide you with, the idea is they're going to be your match for the duration of the program. And after that, meet regularly. As I was saying, we ask that you meet at least 9 times between now and December. I should say December, sorry. Keep an eye on your emails and keep an eye on notifications from Mentorly as well. Okay, this will probably make more sense once you're in the Mentorly platform, but when you receive your match, your next step will be to book a meeting with your mentor. And it's possible that your mentor might not be showing any availabilities in their calendar. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not available. It just means they haven't inputted their availability into the calendar. So there will be a way for you to like suggest another time if you don't see a list of available time slots. There are also resources for you to make use of in the Mentorly platform. So there's the goal setting guide. There's journals to help you reflect after each mentoring session. There's a breakdown of how to structure your mentoring sessions. There's also pedagogical language resources. So these are activity booklets, each centered on a different language skill in the context of a workplace. So, for example, formal and informal language conversations, or um, giving a presentation at work. So each of these activity booklets have examples for scenarios that you can simulate with your mentor, discussion questions that your mentor can ask you. So those will be found in the resource section as well. These are all optional. These are just meant to help you if need be. But ultimately, it's up to you to decide with your mentor how you want to spend your mentoring sessions, with the aim of practicing your French and, um, of course, hopefully improving your confidence so that you can better integrate into the Quebec labor market. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for now and open it up to any questions.
To get us started, I might just share two questions that we got in the chat. So one is, how did we recruit our mentors? So this year we had a really successful marketing campaign, which also might have been how some of you came to know about the program, but that connected us with such a broad range of professionals that we're really excited to have on board. And we also recruit our mentors through different partnerships with different organizations. So we work with a lot of regional organizations to recruit mentors and mentees in the regions to make sure, especially for our learners in the regions, that they have folks to be matched with there. And last but not least, we have partnerships with a couple different professional associations. So one, for example, is a professional association for French language teachers. So we have a lot of mentors who come from us from that background, which is a very welcome skill for this program. And then another question was just about French language levels of our mentors, or kind of French backgrounds of our mentors. So we have some mentors who are mother tongue francophones. We have others who are bilingual. They might speak English, they might speak Spanish, they might speak a broad variety of languages, and they'll often list these on their profiles as well. So if you're looking for somebody, you're interested in having somebody with a similar linguistic background that enables you to say, I'm searching for a word in English or in Spanish to help me find a translation in French, we have mentors with these different linguistic resources as well. But I'll add that all of our mentors, we interview them to ensure that their French language level is sufficient to be a mentor. So you can rest assured that vetting process is in place. Any other questions, you're welcome to throw up a hand or write in the chat. I see one from Eduardo. Michelle, would you like to take that?
Yeah, so if you find that you and your mentor aren't clicking for whatever reason, reach out to the Circonflexe team. It's the same email that you would have sent your contract back to, program coordinator at pertquebec.ca, and we'll figure out how to approach it. Each situation is going to be unique. Yeah, we can figure out what you're looking for, and hopefully find a match that will work for you. One thing I will say is, I think the biggest issue that mentees and mentors often encounter is scheduling difficulties. If you can only meet in the evenings and your mentor can only meet during the day, then unfortunately that relationship isn't going to work. So don't hesitate to get back in touch with us. Another thing also, is if, for example, you've messaged your mentor on the Mentorly platform and you haven't heard back in a bit of time, reach out to us, the Circonflexe team. We can see what's happening, make sure that they got that message.
Now we have our next question from Rebecca about being in a small community professionally and geographically. If I already know the person, would it make sense to rematch? I think that can depend a little bit on you. If you have a mentor in your network that you know or would like to receive mentorship with, that's in and associated with the Circonflexe program, and you'd like to request that, you're welcome to do that. Or if you're alternatively looking for a bit of a fresh start or a new connection, you're also welcome to flag that in your bio. Um, we try to prioritize based on region so people have the option to connect in person. But if that's not of great import to you, if you're okay with virtual meetings, you can also signal that as well. And we can find you just a match that feels like a good fit based on connection or industry or anything like that. And if ever it's too small of a community for you to be able to find a strong mentor for your specific industry, as I mentioned, we do have a lot of mentors who are retired or active French language teachers who have a really good broad ranging foundation, which is quite nice. Next question. If your power is out or you're having any other difficulties, we will absolutely share a recording of this. So no problems on that front. Please don't stress about that. Michelle, I'm seeing, are there check-ins with the program team once throughout the process or once we have matched, and then, or do we self-manage the relationship through to the end?
Yeah, so we will be hosting opportunities for all of us to come together as mentees, so that you can connect with each other, share your experience, ask questions, and get some advice or tips from other mentees. So otherwise, I would say it's up to you and your mentor to manage the relationship in a sense. So you set meeting times, you work on your specific goals. You don't necessarily need to report on those goals to us, but we, of course, are always available if any issues come up or if you have any questions. We will have other opportunities as well to engage with the program, and we'll be asking for your feedback from time to time as well.
We have another question. Did we already receive the link for the bio, I think for the Mentorly platform to answer the questions, or is that coming up?
So no, we have not sent that out yet. We expect to send that out within the next week. So either Friday, I suppose, or next week. So yeah.
Will there be this isn't a question, it's a comment, but I'm going to respond to it as if it's a question. Would be wonderful to connect with others in the program and learn French together. So we do, in a company to this program, we also offer networking events. So we actually partner with a bunch of different organizations across Quebec to have networking events. Typically they're in the winter, although we do have some taking place in the fall often as well. And those are to bring together mentors, mentees, prospective mentors, mentees, and different stakeholders in the community, different employers, all those good things. So there's absolutely the chance to meet in person as well. So you can stay tuned for more information for those. We want to make sure that we, in addition to the pairs, have space for broader networking and just broader practice as well. And will sessions take place weekly, days, and times?
So we ask that you meet with your mentor at least 9 times over the duration of the cohort. So that will work out to about once a month. But of course, if you and your mentor agree, you're welcome to meet more frequently. So you will have to set the schedule with your mentor. And it's always good. We recommend for you to discuss the logistics of the next meeting at the end of the current meeting so that you can both put it in your calendar. Okay.
You mentioned on one side a target of a 70% increase or improvement. What are the program's intended outcomes?
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, that it was our um, expectations. We have, because this is a government-funded program, so we have deliverables that we need to meet. And one of those deliverables is at least 70% of you have to have indicated that you've achieved or improved your confidence to a certain extent. So yeah, that's a big outcome of the program, is improved confidence in French, improved competence, also hopefully expanded network, meeting French professionals uh, in Quebec. Um, so the next question is kind of similar. What is the main priority of this program? Learning French or integrating? I'd say both. It's learning French with the aim of facilitating your integration into Quebec, the Quebec workforce specifically. Morgan, I don't know if you have more to add to that.
Yeah, I think maybe something that is really lovely that I'd like to share is as you all filled out an enrollment survey, we also have our mentors fill out the same one. And so we have hundreds of responses of mentors writing about how they're really, really excited, how they love French, how they're so excited to share something that they love with a mentee, how they're so excited to help a mentee to learn or to find confidence or to find comfort uh, in the language, understanding that that often is tethered to finding more comfort or confidence in navigating daily. Oh, my power just flickered. Daily life in Quebec. Which is quite lovely to see. So I think you're right, Michelle, in naming that they're hand in hand. The primary are kind of government dictated goals are tethered just to learning, and that's the structure of the program in and of itself. There have been a few cases where we've seen people uh, report maybe being humbled in their French abilities after having put their skills into to practice. If they're rusty or if they haven't had some time in a while, so we do see ups and downs, but overall, the comfort that people find through the program tends to be, I don't know, a strong success of the program, I would say. Um, would it be okay for me to put we are a mentee for this program in your LinkedIn? Finding French language learning opportunities was part of my SMART goals for my day job. Absolutely. We have a LinkedIn profile, in fact, which is just Circonflexe.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're welcome to tag us. We love to hear from you all, and we'll be sharing. We share posts and success stories, different things periodically. So you're welcome to join us in conversation over there.
Yeah, we will periodically be making call outs for you to share your experience if and we can interview you if you want to share your experience in that way.
Is it possible to participate only online in the program?
So yeah, that is an option. I would say if that's a priority for you, write that in your Mentorly profile so that we can keep that in mind when we're matching you. Again, it will depend on your mentor. Some mentors explicitly want to have a mentee in the same region as them so that they can meet in person. So if you do get matched with a mentor like that and you determine it's not going to be a good fit, just reach out to us and we will try and find a different match. Um, yeah, and depending on location, it's possible that meeting online might be the only option, just depending on where you are or where your mentor is in Quebec, because we have people from all over the province.
Mm-hmm. I'll also add we go by region. So some people might say that they're in Montreal and we might have somebody in the West Island matched with somebody in the East End. We recognize that that's also a bit of a bit of a commute. So a lot of the pattern we see is hybrid, certainly. um, where do we find out about the events and activities? So those, I believe, we share via our social media and our website and our newsletter that we have for mentees and mentors closer to the dates. We don't have anything planned as of yet. We just wrapped up a big slog in big slog. It was a joy. It was a pleasure. We just wrapped up a big batch of events in January and February. So we're kind of starting our next round of planning, but we'll absolutely share the information for those. After doing the reflection exercises, can I request mentors in specific industry or community? Absolutely. So you'll be prompted to fill out the specific industry within your profile. If there's a different community that you're interested in as well, you're also welcome to write that in your profile. And if there's any things that you'd like to self-identify with, you're also welcome to put those in the text so that we can take those into consideration in our matching process.
Big question, are we the first cohort? So this is actually the second cohort. Our first cohort started January 2025, and it just ended recently. So yeah, there are mentees who've completed the program. Some of them are continuing as a part of cohort 2 with the same mentor. Some of them, their mentor cannot continue, so those mentees are getting a new mentee. So we're in our second cohort and it's like our second year of the program.
That answers our next question, which is how old is our program? We are a toddler. We are 2. I see excited and nervous as a comment. It can be really vulnerable and scary to learn in your language, but we are so excited to accompany you through this process. Will there be? Oh, fire away.
That's okay.
To same place.
Will there be next mentee recruitment opportunity as some of my colleagues may be interested? Yeah, right now we aren't sure when the next cohort will start, but we will definitely be posting about that and recruiting sometime soon.
Yes. Somebody else
Yeah.
asked, again, how can they refer people through our website? Absolutely. And as Michelle indicated, we'll announce the launch of our cohort 3 when we are prepared to launch it. So you can absolutely stay tuned for that.
And for now, people can go to the website and sign up for a wait list of sorts, so that they are notified once we have confirmation about the third cohort. Is there a certificate or accreditation? Yeah, we do offer a certificate of sorts for completion, providing that you have met the minimum requirements, which is at least 9 meetings. So yeah, I guess that is something we will be asking you and asking you to report on. So keep a record of your meeting frequency.
Can you continue another cohort if you would like a second run? Absolutely. Mentorship can be a short-term or a discrete relationship, but it can also be an ongoing or a long-term relationship with a specific individual. If you find a mentor that you click with, that would be lovely. If you do 1 year and you work with somebody in your industry, and after that you'd like to work with somebody entirely different to get a different perspective on things, we're absolutely happy to have people continue in the program. Oh, lovely comment. Meetings are held once a month. Do you think that is enough? So this we leave up to the mentors and the mentees. If you would like a stronger frequency, if you would like to feel maybe more active in pursuit of your goals, that's absolutely something that you can set at your leisure. The minimum is reflecting, oh, my power is flickered again. The minimum is reflecting what we think is a minimum number of meetings that it would take to see some progress towards goals. For some people, they might absolutely feel more frequency is going to be linked to stronger outcomes, and you're welcome to schedule those with your mentor.
Yeah, and also I will say if you can only manage 1 meeting a month, there are ways to keep the French language practice and learning going in between. The idea is you and your mentor will be talking about ways that you can apply learnings in the real world, and practice maybe in your current workplace if you have those opportunities. So yeah.
Will they give us a grade or report to us on the program? No. So your mentor will not be in a formal evaluator role over your progress or your learning. This is self-guided, and to the extent that there is an evaluation, it's a self-evaluation. So the same survey that you took at the beginning of the program, you'll take at the end, and that's helpful for us to measure any growth you've seen throughout. But other than that, the progress is all self-tracked because our mentors are not in the role of instructors or tutors. They're not trained to provide that type of formal assessment. Their role is to guide. Another kind comment. Do we need to complete a progress report on the mentoring relationship or a final report at the end of December? We will ask you to complete a survey. But other than that, no reporting required on your end. Do we have mentors for French creative fields, e.g. French theater for an Anglophone actor?
I think we might. We'll take a look, Gretchen. I'll take a note, and of course, make it clear in your Mentorly profile that that's what you're looking for, and we'll do our best. We can't promise a perfect match for everyone, but I mean, we it doesn't need to be a perfect match, perfect industry match, for it to still be a really good learning opportunity. But yeah, we'll look into that for you, Gretchen.
If ever, we do have a couple people in niche fields or different fields that we might not have a mentor working in, which, as Michelle mentioned, you can still find a lot of growth there. But you can also reflect on specific things from your industry, whether it's the fact that you'd like to practice a presentation, create a toolkit of different vocabulary terms, those types of things, that you're still able to receive feedback on from your mentor. Or if it's in the form of theater, you can go to the theater with your mentor, talk about the theater, so you can find ways to integrate different components of your industry if there isn't a mentor available within your specific niche or industry.
And asking, when we are matched with a mentor, do we get information beforehand about the background why we are matched? So yeah, once you are matched, we're going to actually initiate the match on the Mentorly platform. So as soon as that happens, you will have access to their profile. And so it'll be based on what the mentor has shared on their profile, and maybe also other information we might have about the mentor and their industry. So yeah.
I see no further questions in the chat. I wasn't sure if we'd make it to the end. Any final questions or final thoughts? I think it's 8:04, so we do have about 10 minutes left. But if we have thoroughly and extensively answered all of your questions, we can also end our session here. Yeah, all right. I'm seeing a lot of things. We are so excited to be able to run this program and to connect you folks with a really fantastic group of mentors. So we thank you for your excitement as well.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts or closing words, Michelle?
I think that's it. We'll be in touch.
All right. And to everyone without power, we wish you a swift return of electricity.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Merci. Bonne
Thanks so
soirée.
much. I see one question
you.
in the
Bye-bye.
chat.
Merci.
Bye. Thanks, guys. Ian, if you
Bye.
want to stay to the end, I'll answer your question. Yes. Hello, Ian. You are absolutely welcome to join the session tomorrow. Alternatively, the session is being recorded. So if you would like to see the recording at a different time that's more convenient for you, that's absolutely possible as well.
Okay, great. How can I access the recording?
We'll send that out. Or if you want to join the session tomorrow, I can also give you the registration details just to make sure you get a link. But we'll be emailing out the recording as well.
Okay, yeah, I think
That's
the
great.
recording will work
Us
better.
too.
Here. All right. I'll put the registration link for tomorrow's session in the chat. If you
Okay, I've copied that just in case I can do that.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I see one last question that we missed. Next steps. So we will be sending you as a next step an email to get your Mentorly profile all set up.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
good night. Bye.
All right, I'll stop our recording.